Hi, Sunny here. I just wanted to make a video to talk a bit about the new proseka update, which added the mysekai game mode. Mysekai was first revealed in the game's 4th anniversary special livestream to mixed responses. When the trailer started, I was like, oh my gosh, a new unit. But then the video kept playing, and I was just sitting there watching like, huh? I'm sure I'm not the only one who had this reaction, since the last thing I was expecting them to reveal on this stream was an Animal Crossing clone. The main criticisms I saw at the initial reveal were concerns for how much extra space this mysekai would take up, questions as to why this game mode was being added at all, and concerns from fans who preferred being a bystander and not being able to directly interact with the characters. So like in the afterlives, you're just an audience member. We've never actually been able to talk directly to the characters before this. Except God Miku. God Miku talks to us directly a lot. Personally, I was in the camp of, why? Like, at its core, Project Sekai is a rhythm game for fans of Vocaloid music, so I'm not sure how this game mode fits in with that. Compare this to the game's first big update that happened during the 3rd anniversary, where not only did the story's timeline move forwards a year, and the units all got updated visuals, but the music video graphics and the entire UI of the game got a complete overhaul. I won't lie, I still don't totally love the new UI, but this update was huge and focused on improving some of the core elements of the game. And the music videos look great. The new music videos were really a good step forwards. Meanwhile, mysekai is just a tacked on game mode that's from a completely different genre. It's bizarre. Anyways, we got some more info on mysekai during the New Year's livestream, and this is where they revealed more details as to how the game mode would actually work. This is also the same stream where they revealed a collab with Ensemble Stars, which I do not have time to unpack right now. And now, as of the 10th of January 2025, mysekai has been implemented into the game. The update was 3 GB in total, but the mysekai itself only takes up around 1 GB of data, not including the extra voice data that you can download, which is like 300 megabytes. It's quite a lot. So then, is mysekai any good? Well, yeah. As someone who enjoys how dumb and blobby the characters look, just being able to see them walking around and being silly is enough to entertain me. You can talk with and take photos of whoever is visiting your sekai, and depending on which items you have displayed, the characters will interact with them and sometimes have unique dialogue. Like the swing set, for example. I like these little tidbits of information you can get from the characters. It's cute, and it's fun seeing how some of them interact with your player character directly. Like Mafuyu, for example, who immediately shows her true self and doesn't even try to put on a fake smile. And the rest of her dialogue is just as blunt as well. It's really funny. I'm also a big fan of the camera feature. All of the photos I've taken are terrible, but that's what makes them great. I also managed to clip into Mizuki's head while trying to take a picture of Kanade, so that's fun. Also, tangent, but for anyone wondering how to get the camera film, you need to pass the tutorial and then a couple more missions until you can craft the Henkan machine. And this machine can craft all sorts of items, but the camera film itself only takes like 2 minutes, and it only requires coins and flower petals, which are pretty easy to find. If you're free to play, we only get 1 creation slot, but if you buy the world pass, you get more slots. You can only have 1 unit store up at a time in your sekai, which sucks if you're like me and have oshis across different units. The characters who visit you are also random, with different spawn chances depending on what level that unit's door is. And the only way to guarantee who visits you is to buy the world pass, which I will talk a bit more about later. On the other hand, I don't enjoy the crafting and decorating aspect quite as much. Decorating sims are not my thing. Like, just look at my OnStars office. That shit is terrible. You can go to different areas and collect resources, but there is a stamina bar that resets naturally every day. But if you don't want to wait, you can use the live boost recovery items to keep playing right away, which is good. I'm glad that they didn't only let you have 1 stamina bar a day. Oh, and your tools break too, so you'll have to craft more of those. As I was making my way through the tutorial missions, I eventually got one that said, access the secret store, and I was like, what? So I made a laptop like it told me to, only to open it up and find out that the secret store is also paid exclusive. So yeah, you have to pay up to access the internet in your sekai. Even without the secret store though, you can still utilize the sketch function, which allows you to sketch the crafting recipe for items that you come across in other people's sekais. Oh yeah, you can visit other players' sekais, by the way, either by friend code or like just go to a completely random person. Your sekai is public by default, but you can turn that option off. Now, by this point, it's probably pretty obvious where Colorful Palette took their inspiration for this game mode. I already said it earlier, but I'm not trying to say they directly copy-pasted the code of Animal Crossing or anything. That's a bit extreme. But even things like the crafting animation and the sounds, even the acoustic background music is very New Horizons coded. Except, unlike New Horizons, you can actually craft multiple items at the same time, so that's a win. Take notes, Nintendo. Wait, why does crafting this plushie require glass? Anyways, now I'll move into more of the negatives/criticisms I have with this game mode. The first is that playing mysekai for more than 5 minutes makes my iPad feel as though it's going to catch on fire. And I'm not the only one experiencing this either. I've seen some tweets of people also mentioning their devices felt like they were going to explode. The game can also get really laggy, especially when loading and traveling between the areas. While screen recording, my game was absolutely chugging, so that's why I don't have much footage of me actually like running around collecting stuff, because it was like a slideshow. There are graphics settings, but I don't really want to have to be looking at the low poly models. My other main criticism is, why isn't mysekai just its own thing? Like, instead it's been integrated with the main game in a way that makes ignoring mysekai a detriment to you, because messing around in mysekai not only earns you a decent amount of crystals from the missions, but you also earn XP and event points. Yes, event points, meaning that this game mode might be necessary for those who want to tier in the future. Certain items also give power boosts to characters. The plushies give an overall bonus, whilst the canvas items straight up buff that card. I think the unit door itself also boosts the unit power. Mysekai has 2 paid passes, the World Pass and the Mysekai Mission Pass. The World Pass lets you invite specific characters to your sekai, gives you a stamina boost and higher rewards, as well as more henken slots and access to the secret shop. And the Mission Pass is like the normal Premium Pass, in which it gives you a second set of missions that have better and more exclusive rewards, like these large plushies that I want in real life. There were multiple bugs when the game mode was first implemented, and one of them was actually that these large plushies were sketchable at first, so people without the pass could get the recipe for the plush, but that was quickly addressed and fixed. So yeah, in the end, I find mysekai to be a fine idea in concept, but very strange in execution. I don't understand why they had to be so extra about it and implement an entire collection and crafting design sim instead of just going the more simple route and just giving us a little space we could customize. Like, why did they go ahead and make an entire game mode? How long have they been working on this? The fact there's 2 paid passes as well makes me think this game mode was designed to try and pull in new players who aren't interested in the rhythm game aspect, but they still want to get to know the characters. So that's why you can gain event points from cutting down a tree. But in that case, it circles back around again to, why not just make the game mode a separate app? That way you could add even more features and items, and it wouldn't be weighing down the already data-heavy parent game. Colorful Palette are kind of trying to have their cake and eat it too here. They don't want to risk making another app, so they just integrated it directly. But yeah, that's my rambling done. What do you think of mysekai? Do you like or dislike it? Feel free to let me know in the comments. As for me, I have to get back to waiting 20 whole minutes for Rui to decide he wants to sit on a swing.